me, bitch, because she's last. When I said I know who ain't winning, it is her.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today we are doing our very first preseason Survivor Draft for Survivor Season 49, which is coming out this Wednesday. Today is Monday, so y'all can get a little glimpse of when we're doing this in comparison to the season. We are excited. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
And I'm Kamari. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. So we're going to do a little draft and then try to talk about each person and like what our thoughts are as we pick people. And so Victoria's going to have a team. I'm going to have a team. And what we've done is individually both ranked our folks in order from top to bottom as to winner potential and who we want on our team. So we're going to play rock, paper, scissors in a second. If she wins, whoever goes first, if she takes one of my people, then I just have to take them out of the ranking. And then at the end of the season, we're going to see whose team actually has the winners, who has the most. So we're excited. Really love this. And we're definitely going to try to do this like for Big Brother and stuff. I know we're watching. Those of you who are watching, we didn't have it in time for that, but we're going to do this more often because it's fun. So without further ado, let's do this rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. You don't always be on the three, okay? It's rock, paper, scissors, and then you shoot. Okay, yes. You put your thing out. All right. So I'm ready. 1, 2, 3. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I was gonna do this, Victoria. How did you ever do it at the same time? Okay, we're gonna do it again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Not the same.
Both having to say, okay, last one.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, you got me. Okay.
All right. Okay, so I'm really excited to announce my winner pick because I really feel like this person just embodies what I love about these games, which is relationships. And that is Christina.
Oh, wow. Yes. Wow. Christina. I'm going to tell you, girl, I got to go deep down in my stuff to find Christina because I don't have her as the winner.
Bills. Yes.
There's only one Christina this season, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't have Christina at the top at all. I have her at the bottom.
Really?
Like the bottom bunch. Not the bottom. She's my number 15, but go ahead.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So Christina, the reason why I have her up here, right? Now, relationships, there's a few other people who mention relationships, and we'll get to those people like Nate Moore. But Christina, I don't know if you noticed, but everybody said KM, the girl with the long braids. Like, everybody is looking to Christina to have a relationship with her. And even though Christina didn't specifically say the relationships that you built, she said that my question at the jury is going to be, do you know my daughter's name? And from that, I was like, yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. Because she is here for the relationships. She is here for like the transformational experience that Survivor gives you. The people that she picked that she felt like she connected to were also people that I like. So I was like, we on the same wavelength here, in my opinion. And yeah, she's gone through a lot recently, which I feel like is going to give her the grit for this. She also said, like, I'm coming here for me. Like, this is my mommy break. This is my wife break. Like, this is here for me to return to the water where I feel my freest and truest self. So yeah, she is my winner pick. And another one of the players actually said, like, if he had to pick a winner, it was her. So,
well, who said that? I ain't see that.
Jawan.
He said that. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I do remember him talking about like them, quite a few of them noticing, or like at least 2 of them noticing that she said thank you and things like that to the staff because they're in the Ponderosa thing. They can't talk that to each other or whatever. So just a few things about her. Like, she noticed she's a career counselor. I think at the university level. And she said she's a people person. I definitely give her that. Like, I feel like for Big Brother, she would kill. I am a little concerned about her because of the elements, because of her just being thrown into this. and like this is not like her lifestyle, it seems like. And I'm also I that's the biggest thing competition wise, like it's giving for me a little bit. I'm a little concerned about her from that standpoint, and
Okay.
so it just kind of dropped her from me, like big time. Like I put her in the bottom. Like I said, 15. Like I put her at the bottom, but I did feel like her social game is up there, and it's
Yeah.
like Sari, like if she can do like what a Sari could do, if she can do that, but there's a little sharkiness in Sari that I don't see in her, and that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. I think she will be very well liked. I think she is not going to have any problem making relationships and things like that. But I wonder if the elements are going to get to her, and I wonder if the like just the physicality of the game is going to like kind of get like weigh her down more than maybe some of the other players or whatever. So that's why
Okay.
I kind of put her down on my list. I wrote down here she seemed very spiritual. She said she's a firstborn, so she's definitely gonna be in there trying to solve problems and helping the people
Yeah.
out. But yeah, I don't know. Any other thoughts on Christina before I get into my winner pick? I knew we weren't gonna
No.
have. I didn't think we were gonna have the same people. I said this to you before we started recording. I think we're
Yeah.
gonna have very different views on like winner potential, whatever. Y'all let us know in the comments like what your thoughts are, because like it's so interesting to watch it beforehand, because I never used to do preseason. Like
Yeah, this is
I
the
am a
first time watching preseason for the both of us. And for those who
yeah.
don't know, we're doing this based off of the Mike Bloom interviews on
Mhm.
RHAP. I
Mhm.
know there's a lot
Mhm.
of preseason interviews out there, so if you're
Mhm.
wondering what we're referencing, it is
Mhm.
those specifically and those
Yeah,
only.
yeah, yeah. He did great
He
interviews. Like you
did.
were saying, like how he's just such a great interviewer. But I think also part of his interviewing skills is that he's so quick witted. Like somebody will say something and he just spins it into something else, and it's just like he's
Yeah.
listening and also just has a brain that is very machine like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm
anyway,
like, he has all of this knowledge. Like he is a
hmm
student of pop culture
hmm
and just all different types of
a very
media, which I think is
yeah.
great.
Yeah, he's a very millennial type of journalist. Like that's
Yeah.
what I feel about him. But anywho, so my winner pick is Shannon Fairweather, I think her name is. I'm sorry. You guys are gonna have totally different lists. I knew it.
She made
I
me
knew it.
bitch.
You said what?
I said, pinch me, bitch, because she's last. When I said, I know who ain't winning, it is her.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. I actually put her at the top, but I will say this. My number 2 and my number 3, I actually do have a little bit more faith in their game specifically, but with her, there's something about how her energy, I personally really feel like she has I think the only thing that I think she like pitch me. Now you're making me nervous, okay? Cuz you didn't like her, okay? What
Like
I
her. But go ahead. I'm gonna say my opinions, but it's not that I didn't like her. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I liked about her is that like she really seems very calm going into this, and she seems like I am here, like if it's meant to be, it's gonna be, and I'm already feeling like this is for me. Like she has such a very winner mindset, and she seems likable. Like I liked her interview. And I will say though, I was listening to you when you talking about Christina, and you were saying there's something about her that you resonate with that reminds you of you or something like that. I don't know. But
The
or
relationships. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, the relationships. And I was like, with her, there the way she talks about her family and like her mom, she calls her mom like a, quintessential divine mother, and her dad was just, this guy. It gave like very similar to like how I feel about my family. And I'm very like crunchy and very spiritual. So I like for me, it was like you hit my buttons, girl. I thought she would do very well. But the one thing I think that may not be the best for her, but she talked about winning in various ways, like friendships being a win, this being a win. And so I wonder also in her like kind of spiritual mindset, if she's more like winning, if it could transform throughout the game for her, and then she kind of like just go in the flow of like it doesn't look like that's the direction I'll be able to go in. And so that's what I put. But I will say that I feel like she just gave me a very magnetic vibe. That's what I liked about her.
Yeah.
She seemed very magnetic in a totally different way than some of the other players. And I'll speak to them when I get to them, but some of the other players seem like they may have like a lot of personality, but also, I don't know how whether that would be a threat or support. So go ahead.
Yeah, to me, so I understand what you're saying, and I out of all of the players, I had the most to write about her. But I had the most to write about her because she talked the most. I think she had the longest interview, and she was going all around. I know there was a part where she was like, see, I can bring it back. But I feel like that can be exhausting in a very worn out environment. I don't know if she knows how to pull that in because she is clearly a chatterbox. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, in this environment where people are irritated and frustrated, girl, they probably don't want to hear you go on and on and on and on and on. And I think her typical language and vernacular is in the very like spiritual space, right? Which for other people can be intriguing, but I think for somebody who does not connect with that, it's just gonna be like, are we always just on spiritual guru time, girl? Like, so I feel like it's gonna be a catch-22 for her. And if it comes out early, I literally wrote down like, if she go into her tribe talking too much, she will be an easy out.
No, that's real. I do think, like I said, it's a very like, you're speaking my language, girl. Like, and I think it's just more of like that. Like, that's who I like most. But I do think she has a good chance of winning unless she gets in there, because it's hard to like always judge. Like, I haven't seen preseason interviews before, and so it's kind of like, how do they typically match up with how they play the game? Because if she goes in there and she's not self-aware and she's just chatting too much, then I totally agree with you. I just didn't necessarily get that vibe from her. The one thing I did write down that I was not a huge fan of, she does a lot of name dropping. She was like Boston Rob, Aubrey, like she said somebody else. She said somebody else. I can't even remember who.
Was that her or was that somebody else?
No, Boston Rob was Shannon. Yeah. She was like, her dad had owned the bar that Boston Rob was a bartender at the season he left.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she did do a lot of name dropping. My dad has all these cool friends. And she did. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a little interesting. But I feel like there's something there. I think the energy that she's bringing, like, could take her very far. So that's my number one.
My number two is Sophie. I think she says, I think it's Daldari. I'm not sure, but Sophie B. She is
Sophie that's in our chat?
Yes.
Oh yes. We have a Survivor chat on Instagram, guys. And Sophie's in it. Shout out to Sophie.
Sophie is in it, yes. Sophie B is my number two because I love that everything she said in her preseason interview was like about her strategy. Like, everything kind of just came back to like strategy. The things that she picked up on like from past seasons and stuff was all about people's strategy and how they showed up. She mentioned that she's going to weaponize emotions, but she's not going to use emotions. And I think that is important in this game. I also love that her hot take was like, if you win, you deserve it, because there's thousands of hours that we don't see. And so I feel like it's just a genuine appreciation for the game and how it plays out. And it is what it is. I also love that she tried to prepare and she was like, F this, like, we just gonna go out there and thug it. She said she tried to sleep outside in the rain and she said, nope. She tried to starve for 2 days. She said, nope. We just gonna go out there and thug it. And the thing that I love most about her is the fact that she is carrying her grandmother into the game, who had such a connection to Survivor. I feel like when you taking your people with you, same thing with Christina, she taking her mom in there with her, like, I feel like it just gives you a different type of strength and it allows you to be observant. And I feel like when you are in touch with understanding that like your ancestors can communicate with you and talk to you, it just allows you to just be more powerful and have a stronger intuition in the game. And I think Sophie is going to bring that. And she's like, I'm okay with hiding behind people. And Sophie and Christina both said that they had their eye on each other. And so I'm hoping that they will become a duo post-merge and rock it out, because they're on separate tribes. But yeah, that is my number two.
That's so interesting. So Sophie, I had her listed at number 5. Okay. I felt Sophie like I liked her. I wrote down here. She said something about cutthroat, and I was like, okay. Like, it seemed like she said a few times, it feels like she's gonna be underestimated. I agree with that. I think it's gonna be a strength for her. She's giving that she's about to do it all. You get what I'm saying? And so it's giving like she's gonna have a lot of gumption, which is I think important for players. But I also wonder if she's going to like it ups her risk level. And so that's why I bumped her down
Yeah.
a little bit in terms of like she was not like number 2 or but she's in the top 5 for me. But I love that she seems to love a very old school Big Brother game, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? She mentioned some Serenes and things like that. She's a business owner and she's got like she went to Duke. She's got like some smart things going on. And so I don't really have anything like bad or anything that concerns me about her thus far, other than the fact that like if she is too, got too much going on, it's
Risky
like
with
going
it.
to up
Yeah.
her risk level. And
Mhm.
then also as a woman who is like, young and very fit looking, like I wonder if people are going to associate with her like maybe some more of like a Venus or Parvati. Somebody else mentioned that. We'll get to that later. But I was wondering if that could be something that Sophie gets locked into, but the way Sophie speaks is very like a baby voice a little bit, and so I think that as a whole she'll be perceived more as just younger rather than this like
Yeah.
Venus and like Parvati type of woman. So that's where I am with her. But yeah, okay. You took her off my tops. What happened?
Oh, sorry. I said, who is your number 2?
Oh yeah, so my number 2. I'm trying to wonder if I should switch my number 2s and my number 3s. Yeah, I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna switch. So
Okay.
my number 2. No. I'm gonna switch it back. I'm gonna switch it back. My number 2.
They
My
gonna come
number
back and
2.
listen and be like, "You switched me."
But I'm gonna just stick true to what I have down here as number 2. My number 2 is the other Sophie S. Like Shami, she was giving very smart. Something about her was giving just smart. She works at Google, and when she was talking about her job and just talking about just her experience being an alternate before, I was just like, she has a good level of like self-awareness. She's got a good level of likability. And so I really kind of felt like she has the ability to kind of go far and be under the radar a bit, but also well liked and be strategic. So I liked her.
Yeah, I like Sophie too. I have her as number 7.
Okay.
Yes, she kind of gives me like Genevieve vibes
Mm,
a little bit from what is
I
that?
could see it.
47.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so
I
I'm
think
like, is she going to be able to like crack through that? I don't know. So that's my
back through the
only that's
what?
through what Genevieve had, where it was like she was seen as this threat, and it was like nothing else.
Oh.
Like it was like, no, you're a threat, girl, and that's all you are, and that's just
Mhm.
what it's gonna be. And so I
Yeah.
fear that for her. That's why I put her at 7, because at first I had her at 4, and I was
Mhm.
like, I don't know, like
Mhm. Mhm.
she seemed like that one, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'll get into my number. It's you. It's you.
Oh yes,
I'm
now
like,
we're on 3. Number
yes,
3 for
3.
me is Mr. Juwan.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Knew we were gonna have a very different list.
Yes. Jawan is my number 3.
Okay.
I like Jawan because one, he is a lover of the game. I love lovers of the game. We have a few this season, but I
Mhm.
also love that Jawan is very committed to the importance of representation.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
just feel like as a black man, right, and like the fact that he's coming in fighting very hard for his family, fighting for like
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
bigger mission per
Mhm.
se. I don't know. I just think it's a beautiful thing, and I love that like he kind of just kept coming back to like who he is as a black man in this game,
Mhm.
who he admires from the game, where other black men like Jeremy. I'm all for
Mhm.
Jawan. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's interesting. I had Juwan at 12.
He would bring Denzel Washington in as his
baby, I would bring him too. Okay. Yeah. I'd bring him too. But yeah. I love what Juwan had to say. I loved all the things about Juwan. Like I actually did like he was one of the first interviews I watched or whatever. And maybe like he's so low on my list because I started watching so many other people or whatever. Because I feel like he's gonna be very likable. I feel like he's gonna have a very good game. And I loved his perspectives on Jeremy because I was like, I love Jeremy too. Jeremy was one of my favorite. And just to hear him talk about that as a Black man who didn't have a father, seeing like this man not emulate, but like demonstrate what that looks like. Because like my dad's very much like a Jeremy. You know, there's no question. You just have all this faith in him and what he is here to represent. But I just didn't see anything super that stood out that I felt like he was like in my middle group of folks. And then as I started putting in my middle group in order, I was just like, he kind of falls sort of to the end of that. But I do think he will. I think I guess I see him making it to like the middle game, even though I have him at 12. I just feel like I see him making it to the middle game. That's where I am with him.
He's definitely gonna make jury, I think, for sure.
You think?
But yeah, I have him as number 3. What number did you have him at? I didn't write that down.
12.
12.
I had him at 12. Yeah.
Alrighty, who's your number 3?
All right, so my number 3 is Jason. Jason, the tech who became the attorney, the tech guy. Because at first I was like, that's what I was about to switch him to number 2. At first I was like, when I saw his interview, like the picture for it, he was my very last watch. And I was just like, oh, nothing to see here. I really was. I was kind of like, he's probably just gonna not. I was doing a lot of judging a book by its cover, thinking that he may not like socially connect with others and he may be like in a book, in a game, blah, blah, blah. But he was just very smart, like in how he was communicating. And he just also seemed self-aware. He seemed very grounded. He seemed very real and very authentic. And so it's like, he's going to be unassuming in my view. He's going to be smart strategically. And I think he's going to be likable. Like, and so I was just like, this guy has a lot of, and he's going to be under the radar in my view. And so like a lot of the people who I put sort of towards the top are not necessarily these people with these obvious sort of personalities, but like their unassumingness may like take them a little bit further, like Sophie, like the other Sophie, both Sophies basically. But that's my thoughts on him.
Yeah, he is my number 4, and I almost had him at 3. And then I was like, towards the end, will he be seen as a threat? Because again, he is so smart and he's so analytical. Mm-hmm. The thing that I do fear for him, though, is because he is just naturally this very intelligent guy. Mm-hmm. He seemed like he carried the interview well, but like, you know how sometimes you can have a conversation with somebody, you like, oh, your IQ up there. You know, and so I don't want people to look at him and be like, he's so smart, we got to get him out early. So I hope that don't happen. But Jason is my number 4. I wrote down a few things that he said. He was like, I'm scared, but I'm brave. Love that. Yeah. He said that he wants to lead with vulnerability. Love that. He was also an alternate for this season, and he was so positive about it. The other people who were,
I don't realize that.
I forgot. I think MC, is she the other alternate? Maybe, I'm not sure. Or so somebody else is an alternate. But there's somebody who was an alternate before, like for last season, and then now they're not.
The alternates coming in or no?
Alternates do come in. Jason is the alternate. He wasn't on the original cast. Somebody broke the rules, so Jason got on.
Oh.
2 people broke the rules this season, and they were booted before the cast list dropped.
Jeez Louise. So how did he break the rules? Goddamn.
They're not supposed to talk at Ponderosa Beach. And they talked. Jason,
they do talk about in the interview how like everybody's so like, some people are just like, you know, focused, not doing, you know, whatever. But okay.
Sophie and MC
girl, I had to put tape on my mouth if I was there. I had to be like, bruh, please let me put tape on my mouth because I will accidentally say something.
Yeah.
And I ain't got time.
So I'm like, y'all setting it up for failure.
Say that again.
I said they're all in the same tent. So it's like, y'all setting it up for failure.
That's what I'm saying. I literally would have to be there like this, or I'd have to be
Yeah.
like, can I have something in my mouth so that so I can remember not to talk, because that would be so unnatural to me, like so unnatural. But anywho,
Yeah. So yeah,
who you
so
got
MC,
next, girl?
hold on before we move on.
Oh,
MC and Jason are the alternates this season, and they're both on
okay,
the same tribe. I believe
okay,
Sophie S was an alternate last season. She didn't make it
yes,
on. They
yes,
called her for originally this
yeah,
season.
yeah.
But yeah, it was just a different era about how Jason was talking about being an alternate. He's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like Shannon, I feel like, but
Mm-hmm.
the read the room version.
Got time. Okay, 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 okay. You coming for my girl. You coming for my girl. Okay.
So
Go
yes,
ahead
that's
with
Jason.
who you got as your next.
Okay, next for me, fifth I had Steven Ram. Now,
Okay.
this is a surprising pick for me. I feel
Uh-huh.
like I put Steven in there because I feel like he gonna be somebody that's just gonna surprise me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He is the, I don't know, cookie cutter white guy, but he has hearing aids. And so he said that there's two people with hearing aids, but Steven, he has hearing aids, and he said that he's really, really good at nonverbal communication. He can read things very well. He's also very just like business savvy. He feels like he can he can walk around the room and just run it. So I feel like he's going to be up there for those reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, so he was my number 7. So we're getting closer in some of our, picks or whatever. He was my number 7. Initially I was like, "Oh, he's going to need the luck of having," like, the first comment I wrote down about him was he's going to need luck to find people who are going to be his people, because he's giving a lot of nervous energy. But as his interview went on and on, I was like, he's actually kind of all right. Like, you would be
yeah.
like he's a vibe a little bit. Like, he's
Mm-hmm.
he's a little funny. He's very, personable, all that good stuff. He had this Rupert obsession. I was like, is he
Yeah,
out here gonna try to match up with Matt, the guy with the locks? That's one of the things he mentioned. But yeah, I just felt like as the interview went on, I just was like, he just seems like he'll have good strategy, and like he'll have good reads, and so I ranked him as a 7. So
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Uh
definitely I agree with all of that you said. Some other things that he mentioned that stuck out to me was the fact that he was like left and right brained, and that is a skill. Like
mhm.
being able to, like he said, he rewired his brain to be good at math. As soon as he said that, I was
Mm.
like, oh no, he might be up there, because that takes a lot of skill if you are naturally somebody who's creative. And he
Mhm.
was in the arts and things like that. He ended up switching over into this
Mhm.
NASA thing. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, he might be up there for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, no. So my next pick is Nicole.
I gotta find her
Nicole.
up. Oh, okay. I see it.
Yes, Nicole.
She's my eighth.
She's your 8. Okay, yeah. She's my 4. Uh my 4th pick. So, like, I feel like I've literally been able to go down and pick my my people. You haven't knocked any of my people out thus far, except like my 7 and stuff like that. But she just made me laugh off the rip. I was like, girl, you got the goods. She also seems like
Yeah.
she got that cutthroat in her and all that good stuff. However, she is so likable that that's about to be a threat for her. That's
Yep.
that's that's the only reason she's not higher, because I wrote
Yep.
down here, I was like, oh, she's my winner pick. But then I was like, and there's so many people who mentioned that they love Jam Jam as one of their favorite players. She was one of them too. I'm like, they're gonna
Yeah.
recognize that she's the Jam Jam of the season. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I put her up there, like, because I just loved her so much, and I was like, maybe she can get through, or maybe she can, tone it down just a bit to not be so obvious. But yeah, I like
Yeah.
her.
I agree. Yeah, she's up there for me. I do. I have her down a little bit, in her spot. I have her at 8 because
Mhm.
I do fear that she will be so likable that she will be out. But like the
Mhm.
things that she loved, I love. Like I loved
Mhm.
how she said that she was like a love child between Boston Rob and
Ah,
Shambo. Love
yeah,
that she
yeah.
said she loved Sari because she's emotionally
Yeah.
intelligent and
Yeah.
persuasive. I felt like people
Yeah.
when they talk about Sari, they always talk about the persuasive part, right? Because she convinced somebody to give up their own damn immunity. But like they don't talk about how emotionally intelligent and in tune Sari is. And so I was like, yes, thanks for noticing. And I love that she loved Tony because I like Tony. I love how chaotic Tony was.
Like Tony. I've never liked
Tony. How chaotic Tony was. So I love that she loves that. So yes.
Yeah, and I think that's that Boston Raw piece of her, the potential piece. I mean, the persuasive piece that I think is what keeps me from ranking her so low is that like, but you know, it is self-proclaimed, so we haven't seen it in action, but
yeah.
I could see that in her because she's just the energy was just there. So
she literally said, "Hope isn't a strategy." I think it's in her.
Yeah. So anyway, that's mine. Who's your next pick?
So let's see. My next pick is Nate Moore. He is my number 6.
Okay. So Nate. Oh, I have Nate's high. Well, let me see. Where is he at? Nate is my 10. He's my 10.
Okay. Nate is somebody else who said that he was voting for relationships. And that's me. I know if I was out there, I would vote for relationships. Now, Nate, he gives me a very much so catch-22. Like, I don't know if I feel like I'm either going to love him or end up hating him. And really? I only say that because he said like his kryptonite is the fact that he loses his temper and sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. So I was kind of like, ooh, do we need to be scared? Yeah, I was a little like, I don't know. But he pointed out that he would like to work with Steven. And so I feel like that might be able to keep him moving along, which is why I have them right next to each other. I think they're two people who value loyalty as well. And so I think if they end up somehow being able to get together, they will be able to ride the wave together up there. So we will see. But yeah, that kryptonite threw me off. I said, but he is a student of the game, and I do like that. And he's teaching his daughters like how to play and things like that by watching. And so I always love those type of players. And he loves Earl Cole. You know, who was the first black guy to win.
Yeah. So, like, it's interesting with him. Like, I started to rank him lower, but I just kind of liked him in his interview. Like, he just seemed like a really likable guy. So it felt like he wouldn't go. And he seemed a little self-aware. So it seemed like he wouldn't go too early. He's a film producer, produced Black Panther and a couple other, I can't remember the other ones. It was like Captain something. I don't know. But I don't watch those. But I watch Black Panther, all those. And so I was like, I wonder if Jawan being like a freelance video editor that moved to LA, I wonder if because he was saying like some people might recognize him. And I'm like, who would recognize you? Like
but it's some nerds in this group. It's when he said that,
No, I was like, if anybody gonna recognize him, maybe Jawan would recognize him. But I'm like, hopefully they can connect and Jawan can be on the next movie, Black Panther, the next one.
No, for
I don't
real.
know.
No, honestly.
So put that in the air for them. But anywho,
I think Jason might be able to recognize him too, potentially.
Jason. But like, did Jason say he had like a film background?
No, but he was talking about like Pokemon. I feel like he might.
That's like a gamer. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, every year somebody does recognize the people that I'm so surprised that they do. But anywho, but I didn't see a lot of like go get him in him. So, that's that. But who's next on my list? So I'm at my number 6 because you had taken Sophie, who was my number 5, Sophie B. And so my number 6 is Michelle. And so MC. So the reason why I really liked her is I feel like she's giving me, for those who've watched Big Brother, she's giving me Izzy vibes of like, I just watched this, I just joined, this fandom and I love it. And I'm just like running through all these seasons and I've binge watched them. And so the strategy and the wow is right fresh in my brain. She's athletic. She seemed to be the person a lot of people mentioned a lot. Some good, some bad. So that kind of, to me, was like a plus and a minus, like a mark against her, that some people seem to like talk about her kind of like she's stern or I'm scared of her or whatever. But then other people talked about her very pleasantly. The vibe I got from her interview is that once they meet her, that it's going to be like they're going to be disarmed, anybody who had like maybe a bad vibes from her initially. But I also think that that's what's going to make people probably start to be like, this girl, she got, somebody called her Michonne or something, like she got like power and she's likable. So I think it's like she's gonna have a little bit of a threat level that's a little higher, I think, because everybody, so many people mentioned her,
Yeah.
and not all of them were good. There was kind of like a mixed bag. So that's that. And then she did a shout out to Michael B. Jordan. I was like, that's
Yes.
hilarious.
He's like, a handsome man.
Yeah, but yeah, I liked her.
Or
I liked
sexy.
her.
That's what she said. He's a sexy man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have an MC at my 13. And
Oh,
I have it
really?
there, one, because she had the mixed bag from everybody else. And then two, I feel like through the competitions, because she has this bucket list, like she says she want to play hard. She says she want to go on the journeys. And so I feel like she will be seen as a gamer on top of being a physical threat. And so I see her making it like right before a little tribe swap, right before merge, for real, for real. So yeah, we'll see about her. But
I see her
do
in the
like,
middle game, but I see her being cut out right before it gets to the end game.
Yeah. She did say she was a people pleaser, and so with that as well in mind, it's kind of like that seems just like things going into this type of game where it's like,
I mean, I think that's going to be a benefit to her, to be honest, because I think it's going to bring her threat level just a little bit down, being a people pleaser. But I don't know. Any other thoughts on her?
no.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Who was your next?
My next person was Alex.
Oh, interesting. Alex is my 9th person.
He is my. Oh, did you say you're number 9?
Yeah, he's my number 9.
He's also my number 9. He's also my number 9. I think he is. Him and Steven, I feel like they're like a two people
opposite
of the same
sides
coin.
of the same
opposite
coin.
Sides of the same coin. Yes, opposite sides of the same coin. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm excited for his game, but I do feel like that social capital that he has, understanding how to talk to people, can end up being a threat. I do think he's like the second or third biggest guy on here, and so the people I have, under him are the physical threats that I think will leave before him, and then he will just be that next physical threat. And so that's why I have him kind of right there, end of the middle going into the end of the game.
Yeah, so I initially was like, when I was listening to the beginning of his interview, I was a little higher on him because I was just like, he's in politics. He understands, like, he's going to wheel and deal, and he's going to be able to avert crisis. He's going to be able to see things coming because that's his whole job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a communications director, he's in politics in DC. I have him high, but I ranked him down a little bit when he started talking more about like idol hunting and all these different things that he's going to do. And so it kind of gave me like, you might be a little risky, and you also might be a little too in the mix and maybe running things that it might raise your threat level just a little bit. So yeah, he was my number 9.
If that does come out, I think that he will leave even sooner.
I don't think he's gonna say that. He ain't gonna come out. He ain't saying that. He know what to say. Yeah, no. Yeah. He know what he said. He's not gonna say it. That he's not gonna mention his career because he doesn't want to have any divisiveness.
No, not his career.
Oh,
I'm saying those elements of who he is.
Oh, okay,
being very like director and might be a little bossy and stuff like that. I feel like if that were to come out, in the heat of just exhaustion, some people just don't like that person that's telling you what to do all the time, and they just end up being the person that people start to target, and so that might become him, but who knows?
Okay.
All right,
my
so
next
pick
for you is Savannah. Now, Savannah was my 8, so I had her ahead of Alex, but I had Savannah as 8 because when I initially saw her, I was just like, oh, I thought Venus Parvati. Like, that's what my initial thoughts was. She the one who mentioned that. And I was like, oh, okay. So nothing to see here. Not nothing to see here, but like, because Parvati's great. Venus in. But you know what I mean? Like, more Venus, I guess, than Parvati. But as she began to talk, like, I was just like, oh, okay, she's got like a lot of skills in the sense of she was a former journalist, and she like just this ability to listen. She's like, people, I don't know if she said it or if somebody else said that people like talking about themselves, and she's a great listener, having to have interviewed people. And I just was like, oh, okay. She seems very self-aware. She's talked about her struggles with addiction before. She talked about like what she's trying to do in her life and how she's shifted her life. And so she just seems like someone, and she also seems like she about to get her hands dirty. So that gumption, I think, will take her far. And I think that, I think she's one to watch out for. And initially I was ranking her like much higher, like almost in the top 5. But the reason why I ranked her a little bit lower is just I do think she's going to be looked at as like the Parvati, they're
Yeah.
gonna look at her like that. And so I think that's gonna not do well for her. And I also think that she was saying like she has resting bitch face. And so I don't know if this is that sort of game where that can fly. So
Yeah. I have her at 14.
mm. Mm.
And I have her at 14 because I feel like it's going to take a lot for her to get out of like that typecasted space.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so yeah, I feel like in the beginning a lot of it is based on perception and opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I have her on 14. And I want to check really fast, what tribe is she on? Oh, she's on Uli.
Is she on Uli?
Um, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
she's
okay.
also not necessarily
Yeah.
on the tribe that I think is going to end up being the strongest. And so I feel like she might be one of those where it's like, we can go ahead and get rid of her. I do feel like she has the capacity to surprise me though, but I do think in the beginning, because there's going to be so many opinions and decisions, I mean, so many decisions made on opinions, that she
Mm-hmm.
might not be able to get out of that like super cute
Mm-hmm.
poverty space. You might be a little
Mm-hmm.
deceptive, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could see it. Who you got next on yours?
Okay, next for me is. Now, who the hell? Oh, I did Alex already, right? Yes. Um, Next for me is Annie Davis.
She's my next, but not in this order. Not because I think you're at where are we at?
I'm at
She's your
10.
what? She's at your 10. Okay, she's my 11. She's my
Okay.
11.
We're close. We're getting there. We're
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
there. Our
yeah.
middles are kind of lining up a little bit. Yeah, she is my 11th. I feel like I don't know. I don't have too much to say about her. I think she has a great
Mm-hmm.
spirit about her.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that she again has she's kind of like she's done two things, right? Like she's been in a very creative space, and then she's also
Mm-hmm.
been in that entrepreneurial space. And so I think
Mm-hmm.
that is going to help her. She also said like she has a whole bunch of, millennials and Gen Z on her staff. And so I think that's going to help her be able to connect to this very diverse age group that we have here. So yeah, I don't have too much. I think even though she is an older woman and a smaller woman, the fact that she runs marathons and stuff like that, like she has the endurance, she possibly has the agility, and so I don't think she's gonna be seen as somebody weak on her tribe if that comes out.
Yeah. No, I agree with all your points. Like she's like you said, musician and CEO. I wrote down like she's incredibly accomplished. And so like I think that requires a level of like being able to think and having a versatile brain. And so I feel like that is going to do her well in this game. And
Yeah.
she's also seemed really smart, and like she just seems very smart. And so the only
A lot of people
things
also mentioned her as someone they wanted to work
mm,
with. A few people did.
mhm. Mhm. The things that were kind of like a little bit like it feels she's giving like she might be a little more laid back than assertive, but also it's simultaneously because she's like her personality was given that, but her
Yeah.
profile as being a CEO is making me think, and she wears a boss necklace. Like
I love that.
it's making me, it's like, are you going to be like kind of ordering the people around? But it's like the vibe she
Yeah.
gave during the interview was very laid back and very like, are you going to be, you might need to be more assertive. But she was the first person of the interviews I watched to make me laugh. Like when she was talking about the prison wallet.
Oh.
She's like, if I stick it in my prison wallet, and I was like, so she was the first person to make me laugh. So she just seems like she's just maybe herself, but also at the same time, like I said, she's there's something about her that I can't tell which way she's gonna go, but she seems like she is gonna give it to you straight a little bit, not
Yeah.
necessarily like in a rude way, but I'm wondering if she's more like what you see is what you get. I'm not jumping through a bunch of hoops, and so
Yeah.
this is where I am. If the vote's going, then the vote's gonna go, or something like that, like where it's like you need to be like, on it, and she's just like, I'm not running across this island. And so I just wonder if that's kind of like where she is. But I am excited by her. She said she's a risk taker. And so, she was like, I'm risking the vote every time. I'm not protecting my vote or whatever. So I was like, I don't know where to go with her. Like, I definitely see her not getting out until the middle game. I don't see her in getting out early. But anyway, she was 11 for me.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
And so that was on your team. I'm like trying to write them down. All right. So the next up for me, I have to go to my 13. And my 13 was Jake. So Jake is the big muscly guy. And the only reason why, not the only reason, there's a lot of reasons why. Like, this is starting to get into like the people who I think are going to they're going to get out early. I think there was a lot of eyes on him. A lot of people mentioned him. None of them said anything positive. And he described himself more so as like Joe from this last season, Fireman Joe. But it wasn't giving that all the way. It wasn't giving like that he was just some sleazy muscle guy, but it just wasn't giving the same way Joe was very endearing. It just wasn't giving that. And so I don't think that he's going to endear himself as much to people as he thinks he is. I think he's going to be a threat. And I think people are going to get him out relatively early, but I don't think that at the tribe portion of the game, it's going to be that. And I think it'll be like first of the merge, like sort of thing, because he's going to be a lot of good strength for his tribe. So I don't see him going like first, second, or third or whatever. But like, maybe I should have put him at 12 as opposed to being 13. But like, I see him like right at that, like getting to the middle game portion.
Yeah. He's my 11th. I said he might. Okay. I think he might be able to make it to merge. I think the tribe is going to allow him to stay because he is the muscle, right? And usually, typically, like, you want a stronger tribe in the beginning. You don't want to be that tribe that just keeps losing.
Yeah.
Now, this team that he's on seems like the stronger team per se. They got Jake, they got Annie. And so I was thinking if that tribe does end up going to tribal council, which I don't think might be the first, second, or third, right? Let's say they go on the fourth. I feel like maybe they might be he might be the person that they're willing to let go of, because it's like we've made it this far. Like, let's just see. So I think that's the other alternative to his game. I wrote down for him, like, he might not be what he thinks he is to other people, which, I mean, it's just my initial impression, right? Like, I was like, okay, you want to help? You're a correctional officer. I'm like, yeah. Like, it's just giving a little, like, too much in love with law enforcement.
Yeah. It's interesting.
And so I'm a little iffy on him, but he also said that he volunteers for the Special Olympics. So I was like, okay, like, we'll see. That's what I was like. We're just going to have to see how he shows up in this game, because I was definitely surprised when that came out of his mouth. So I got him right there in the middle at 11.
At 11. Yeah, one of the things also that I noticed is somebody said there was a big muscly guy flirting. He's the only big muscly guy I see. And like I was like, married. Somebody said flirting, like he's giving eyes, like, and I'm like, so already there's like, because he doesn't seem like he was intentionally trying to do that based on the read I got from him from the interview.
Yeah.
But already he's giving an impression that is not reading with the room that what he thinks is giving. Because he's got a baby on the way. I was like, wow, that's major. The baby's gonna be born while he's on Survivor. Like, that's how pregnant the girl, his wife is. So that's a very interesting dynamic. But like I said, we might be able to see more. But like his interview just there with no background music going on, no backstory that was giving me tears. It was not, I wasn't seeing the Joe. But yeah.
At all. Okay, so next for me,
I feel like your next person's gonna be the same as my next person. I just know it.
Okay. So my next person, who is my number 12, is Jeremiah.
Oh,
who you got? Where you
That's
got
not my
Jeremiah?
person. I'm not gonna tell you who my next is until we get there.
Okay.
But Jeremiah, I got him being first out in these streets, girl. I got him being first out. I do not see the winner potential in him, or not winner, but tell me about him. I mean, we're at the
Okay.
bottom, so
Right. So Jeremiah, he is on the stronger team. And so I feel like because of that alone, he ain't gonna be first out. Now, will he possibly first out on the tribe if it's not Jake? Potentially. But he's on the tribe with Nicole. He's on the tribe with Sophie. He's on the tribe with Annie, right? And those three people are eclectic people. So I feel like he's gonna be able to vibe with them a little bit, which is why he's not gonna get out. Like I can see Annie loving a Jeremiah. Nicole already said like a whole bunch of straight people on the beach. What in the world? Jeremiah is gay, so like they're probably gonna connect there. And then we got gay guys be the girl. You know what I'm saying? So he's probably gonna be able to click with Sophie in that way, right? And that's not to exclude Alex or Jake, but I feel like it's going to be like the girls and Jeremiah, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have him alone. But I definitely wrote ... Will he make it? Will he make it?
That's real. You made a very smart choice in your picks of like looking at the tribes. I was so busy. I looked at the people. I haven't even looked at the tribes, but that's a good layer to add to this, because you're right. If he is on a stronger tribe that's probably not going to lose, then I could see him not going first. The reason why I had him at, like, he's talking about loyalty, he's talking about like just it just, he didn't have enough shark in him for me.
Yeah.
It was giving early game for sure. And then I just kind of like, who gave weakest of the early game, and he was giving to me that. So that's why I didn't
like Jeremiah though. I hope he can stick around. I feel like he's gonna be good entertainment. The confessionals, I think the confessionals are gonna be good. He said his idol was Elle Woods. You know, he said that's who he bringing out. So
no, I could see it. So let me put them down for you, Jeremiah. So my next pick, which is my 14th, is Sage. I have her. She's a social worker, was in the Army, and she just seems kind of tough, but she seems to go with her heart, which is kind of like a down, sort of like not so great sort of thing. But at the same time, what I did really like about her is that this therapist, I mean, it's not therapist, but she's a social worker. This kind of social worker background, understanding when to say, what to say, how to say. I thought that was very smart what she said about that. Like, you don't always tell everybody, are they in a position to be able to know it, and blah, blah, blah. And I think that will help her with keeping information a little bit. And she just seemed like a people person. So I feel like she's going to vibe with some folks. And so, I just don't think she's got a lot of shark in her. And that's the reason why I rated her a little lower. I would have rated her higher, just from her personality. It's just like she wasn't giving shark to me. I think you need a little bit of shark in you for this game.
Yeah. She's 17 for me. I think on a possibly losing tribe, she will be one of the easy out folks. Now, I was like, taking the singing lessons to learn how to breathe from your diaphragm. I felt like that was a very creative way to learn. At the same time, I was like, I guess this is a little judgy. I am about to be a little judgy. But I'm like, you're a social worker, so you're a therapist, and so you work with people. Breathing is like, I feel like it's a superior coping mechanism. So I'm like, what you been teaching the girls? Just a little bit. Not saying that's the only coping mechanism to teach or whatever. I'm not saying anything like that. But I was kind of like, that's an interesting dichotomy there. And also, she said she was impulsive. And so I was like, there's like a lot going on in her profile where I'm like, all of these things just like don't seem like they mix up. And then they go together, I mean. And then she also said she was from a very small town. And then like you go to the military, and that's kind of like your first entrance into a somewhat of a diverse environment, because I don't think the military is all that diverse. So it's like, I don't know, like... hopefully just like those small town roots aren't like in there so deep where they possibly come out when you're stripped of all of your comfort, and you're also saying you're impulsive. So
what do you mean by that? Small town roots?
just not like, I don't know, I feel like small town
Not
people are
being
very
like
rigid in how
open-minded. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they're very rigid in
Okay.
how they believe, like, they see things
Mhm.
as, like, one
She
way.
definitely seems much
Yeah,
more
yeah, she does.
broad, and
Yeah, she
so
does,
yeah,
but we
I don't know.
getting stripped, so you going down to, like,
See,
you might go down to some of them core things that you've repressed, even though you've
I
worked on
got
them and
you.
they're not things that you would do in your day to
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, no,
I'm
that's
just
real. That's
saying.
real. That's real. That's real. Okay. Before we get into the next, we only have 2 left. So like whoever
Yes.
you pick is gonna be on your team and you're gonna choose. So the last 2 left are Rizzo and Matt. And
Matt.
so like you picked your person?
No, I'm saying Rizzo and Matt are the last
Oh, okay,
two.
okay, okay. I was about to say, so you're up first. You get the last
Okay.
pick of the 2, and you decide. And you're because of that, you decide who my person is. I definitely have one. They look, but go
I
ahead.
want either one of them, child. But my next person is Matt.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He's my 16, and Rizzo's at my 17. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt is my 15 and Rizzo is my 16. And
16.
yeah, Matt, I'm like, again, he might be an asset in the
Uh,
beginning because of his strength, and I feel like that is
uh-huh.
something that might surprise his coworkers.
Mhm,
But I'm like,
mhm.
you talking about a girl reading and standing up and saying that she's not self aware. I'm like, who you like? You might come on trying to think you finna boss people around and say what it is or talk shit in a corner, and it's just not gonna work. I feel like it's not gonna work in his favor. So yeah,
What
that's why I have him there. He wasn't like super surprising to me. He was talking about some. I feel like the dreads and the shirt make me like this approachable guy, and I'm like, I don't know about
uh-huh.
that. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Uh-huh.
it's an interesting look he's got going on. Who was he talking about though? He was saying the girl with the because Mike Bloom was trying to get out like what was that? What were they wearing? He said something like
He
she
said
had a
pink
Christmas
nail
necklace,
polish.
but then he said a Christmas necklace.
Yeah,
Who's
Christmas
that?
necklace, but it wasn't a Christmas necklace.
I, I,
Yeah, he
did
was
he say something
either
about a
talking
brown
about
shirt?
yeah, he was either talking about Sophie S um or Shannon. I think those are the two, one of the two that he was possibly talking about.
Yeah, what Shannon does have
Or
a necklace, but it's not a Christmas necklace, I don't think,
nobody has
is
on a
it?
Christmas necklace. He just shot his shot with that, and he the one who looked like Santa Claus. I think Mike Bloom said that
Is that what Mike Bloom said?
it was either Mike Bloom or Rob, one of the two, when they was just talking about the tribe in general, and his name
I
came
got
up.
you.
Um,
God, that's so funny. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I don't really have enough like he's a I guess a baggage handler. I didn't really catch what the
yeah,
specific title of his at a airport or
at the
an
airport.
airline. Uh he's a baggage handler and he was before that corporate not CEO, look at me. Some just corporate
Something in
corporate
corporate. Yeah,
finance, I think.
yeah,
And he was just like, he shifted to this, like flying free, all that good stuff. But
yeah,
he just seemed like he was like too much relying on social in a way. He's just like, my strategy is to be likable, be liked, and it's just like that is not enough for me. And I don't think that's going to get him far. I think sometimes people don't really like pay attention or know all the things that other people are doing to like strategically maneuver themselves, because to even say that like Mackenzie's game just being like, oh, she was really likable, that's why she won, I was like, no, she had a strategy and she was strategic and she was a little cutthroat at times, a little sometimes to me too cutthroat in this new
yeah,
era that like just cutting allies for no reason, but it didn't happen that way. And so she was all right, but he just not giving me what needs to be given.
yeah. Right. Oh, I was like, I did
Is
write
it
in my notes who he was talking about. It was Sophie. So Sophie Segretti, is who he felt had
Sophie
no awareness.
S? Okay. So,
Rizzo
Rizzo,
is
so he's on my
last.
team. That
Yes.
it's his youth. It's his like one, I think it was Jason who mentioned how he was reading the some strategy book, and it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, bruh, you're obvious. Your game is obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just giving I don't know. He keeps saying like he was raising his brother, and I get what he's saying in terms of like immigrant families, like you doing like if he's doing taxes, that there is some things that he's having to do some things, but
Yeah.
it's just like it's giving he's going to be a little bit obvious. But he's also going to probably be great entertainment because I think he's going to try to push. He's going to maybe push a little too hard, and yeah, he seems very like he observes. Like he had like loads of notes on everybody. And it seems like he goes heavy off of a first impression because he's got all these images in his mind about everybody. So it's just giving that he's just going to be a young guy. And I think young guys in this game go far when they're very likable, like a Carson and I'm not saying he's not, because if he can turn that on, cool. But it's giving that he's going to be very transparent.
Yeah, I agree. No
the
notes.
fact that he's got that shark in him.
Agreed.
He's got two. He's on the too much shark in him. End of the spectrum. But before we go out, we'll put our list of folks like what our order was on the screen. I think. Yeah, we'll just pop it on the screen. Boom, boom. There you go. But before we go out, let's kind of just talk about the tribe dynamics a little bit, and who's on which tribe and what we think about the tribe dynamics themselves. So you want to start with the Henna tribe, maybe?
Yeah, let's start with the Haina tribe. So that is it's Haina. That is Steven, Sophie Segretti, MC, Matt, Christina, and Jason. I think what is going to be interesting for them, I think they're going to be like the middle group. I don't think they're going to be the weakest, and I don't think they're going to be the strongest. I do think they're going to be the middle tribe. Sophie, she was a alternate for last season. Jason and MC are alternates this season, and so there might be a connection there if they talk about that. Well, I'm sure they would know. At least they know that Jason potentially and MC are alternates because they came in, right? Like after everybody else. I'm not sure how they kind of enter the space of the game. If everyone is together and then they're like informed, who knows? But I think they can do the math when they see that 2 people have left Ponderosa, and these other 2 people are still there.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
What do you think about the interpersonal dynamics of this tribe and this group of people? Because we did see, like, what was it, Jason who mentioned Christina as someone he liked to link up with? Sophie S was mentioned a lot. I can't particularly remember by whether it was by this group or not. I do think the black girl connection between Christina and MC, they both seem like they might vibe like right, just like hey, that might hit. And Steven, I could see oh fucks. I was thinking earlier. Sorry for cursing. But I was thinking earlier that I was like, Steven and Jason, if they can link together, and I just had this moment of realizing these MFs are going to be in the tribe together. I think they're going to like each other. I think they're going to I think they're going to be like, they're going to nerd out, bro out, and they're going to be a good vibe. I think this tribe is going to have good vibes. I think if anybody goes first, maybe on this tribe, it might be Matt.
Yeah, agreed. I definitely agree. Just off of age, if Steven and Jason end up together, I don't see them turning on each other, not early in the game at all. But yeah, I think this is the most, like, in terms of just people, this is the most different tribe. They are the most diverse, I would say, just in terms of like skills, how they want to play the game. I think the thing that is going to connect them most is this, well, 2 of them, the black girl dynamic, and then the 3 of them with that alternate piece, and then Jason and Steven being super smart people. But I feel like that's kind of like it. So hopefully they'll be able to become a cohesive group. You have Christina, who's a counselor, a career counselor. So I don't know. Yeah, they're kind of like in the middle for me out of
I agree with that.
Tribes. Yeah,
I 1,000% agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, so the Kelly tribe, or Kelly, I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce. That is Sophie B, Nicole, Jeremiah, Jake, Annie, and Alex. I think this is going to be the strongest tribe for sure.
Mainly because they have Jake on their team. But I think that Annie's going to do some heavy lifting. And Alex seems like a big guy. He seems like he can
Yeah.
do some things as well. And then they just
I
seem
think
like they're
Nicole
like,
probably has some grit to her as well.
yeah, because did she say something like, what did she say? She said something about people like underneath this is like no. That wasn't her. That was Matt. That was Matt. They said like underneath this like lifting,
Oh
all
yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
luggage things or
The
whatever.
bags.
That
Yeah.
wasn't her. Excuse me. but yeah, and I think Sophie, I don't know what she's gonna do. I have to see her a little bit more before I mean, she seems fit or whatever, but I gotta see her like in action a little bit more. But this tribe seems like there's like more personalities on this tribe, and that could be a
That might.
good or bad. Yeah, it's like they could
Yeah.
either be like, this is the party tribe, we vibing, or this could
Yeah.
be like, no,
Y'all
I
all
already
getting on my
know who I want.
nerves.
Yeah. They already got the hit list come merge already.
Yeah.
So who knows? And especially with Alex and Sophie and Nicole, I think the three of them are going to be like, either they're going to love each other, or either there might be something that may not hit
Yeah.
well. So we'll see, we'll see. But I think they're going to be bringing like turning the action of that tribe a little bit.
Hmm.
And I think Annie and Jake may be more reactionary, depending on how bossy Jake may or may not be, because he's like a
Yeah.
correction officer. So it's like,
Right. He might naturally fall into that. I will say that Jake and Sophie said she wanted to meet Shield, so that would be Jake. And Jake said
mhm,
that he wants to find a little sister, and he saw that in Sophie. So it's like they might be able to
mhm,
get together off of that.
mhm,
Who knows? So we'll see. I think the
yeah,
entrepreneurship, if it comes out or if things are just hinted at and talked about, maybe Sophie and
mhm,
Annie will have a connection there.
mhm,
But yeah, I definitely see like this gonna be the bumping heads. Jeremiah not picking up no logs. He getting up my leg. Like I can see it now.
no, yeah, I could too. Any other thoughts on them before we move on to the last tribe?
No, okay. Next tribe is the Uli tribe. So that
Mm-hmm.
is Shannon. Your first, my last. Savannah, Sage, Rizzo, Nate, and Jawan.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
do think
about
this is
this
gonna be the
tribe in the
weakest tribe.
competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be the weakest tribe, and so there's gonna be a lot going on. I do think Nate and Jawan probably gonna have that little film connection or whatever. I think, and then also is Nate black? Like, what is he? I can't
Yeah, Nate
tell.
is black.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So they might have a little black man bond that may roll well. I think Sage and Shannon, they gonna have that little.
Therapist. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Healing
little like
vibe.
we're vibing, healing, they gonna
Yeah.
connect. Now, whether Savannah connects with them or not, I don't know. Like I gotta see Savannah in action a little bit more. But it's interesting. Rizzo's I don't think he's gonna fit into this tribe well at all.
Yeah.
But he may just, roll with the guys. I don't know. And so I do see this as the first tribe probably going to tribal council, and maybe Rizzo's the first out. Like who did I have
He might
at the end
be.
of my list? Like Rizzo, yeah, he might be the
Child.
first out. Like,
Yeah.
to be
This
honest.
tribe together looking at it, I'm like, y'all set them up. Y'all set them up because like I don't know. I don't know. Like
Mm-hmm.
Rizzo, I can see him easily getting on people's nerves very quickly. I feel like he is the loud one in the group in terms of, being a shark. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm. But I do wonder with Rizzo if he will, because he seems to understand a little bit of like turning things off in a sense of like when he talks about his brother and his parents, like he's had to have some responsibilities. He talked about like, being did he say like being this person that people can try, I don't remember what he said, but he said something in a sense of like putting on, like, and so it seems like he understands he needs to put on a face of being what people want him to be.
yeah.
And so I'm wondering if that will be a little bit of his vibe, and maybe Jason just picked out that like this guy is a little bit like he's gaming because Jason's smart, and maybe other people
Yeah.
won't pick that up as they may be like, oh, little brother, like, oh.
Right.
So I don't know.
We
No
shall
clue. But
see.
yeah,
We shall see.
definitely the weakest tribe. But I'm excited. Wednesday. So any other thoughts before we close this on out?
No, that is it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. We do have a Survivor fan chat on Instagram. So if you want to join that, DM us. Hype this video up. Let us know in the comments whose team do you think is the better team. And overall, what do you think about our picks in our order that we had individually? This is our first time doing this, so super exciting. We will catch you for the premiere on Wednesday.
All right. Bye. All right.